Hello, it is Thursday. I wasn't actually going to podcast today because I'm still quite unwell, but I thought I've got stuff to talk about, so I'll just show it to you. I can't find my hair rolly thing though, so you'll have to excuse me if there is Blythe hair on everything, as there usually is. Honestly, if you don't like dog hair, never ever get a border collie, because they are just... It's like they never seem to shed, but it's everywhere. It's like dog glitter. It really is. It gets everywhere, and no matter how much I clean it up, it is there all the time, constantly. Anyway, so yesterday the gingerbread crochet along started. Got my little house stitch marker look from Crafty Clegs, and I finished week 1. So this is week 1, and we've done basically the central panel of the blanket. So it was really easy. It was just basically clusters of trebles and then rows of chains and double crochets, and then like little fans around the outside and a border, and then decreases in between the fans. I'm really happy with my yarn choice. I love Yarn Smith's Create, and look at the sparkle. I know it doesn't show up amazingly on camera, but in real life, I was looking at it last night, especially when the lights were dimmed, it was really catching the light. It's so pretty. Yeah, so I'm pleased with that. There wasn't much to do this week, but I'm sure of those of you who are doing the Westnet MCC will agree that Clue 3 also came out this morning, and it is a lot. So shall I show you that now? Actually, okay, right, major spoiler alert for Clue 3 of the Westnet MCC. I haven't got very far, as you can imagine. It only came out this morning. Nope. Right, so okay, it's a bit difficult with the tangles, and I'm in the middle of a wedge, so I can't really move the needles that much, but yeah, you get the gist. So basically, this week we have to knit loads of these all the way along with the 400 odd stitches that are on this shawl, and I think that's going to be the bottom, I reckon, and then the other side we're going to start working off the semicircles and the garter rows, stripes, because there's a raw edge here, so I think we're going to start working on that. So this is the final bottom of the shawl. It looks nice. My yellow row on the right side is even when you close the gaps on the short rows. But I like that there are bigger blocks of colour for this, because I love the yarn and it shows the yarn off nicely. There are going to be quite a few contrast colour ends to sew in, but I'm weaving them halfway as I go, and I'll just put them back the other way with a needle at the end, just so they're sort of doubled back on themselves. But yeah, so I think there's 44 maybe of these wedges altogether, so it's going to take quite a while to do. I've done three and a bit. And each one of the wedges is done in 3 parts as well. So, yeah. But I love the effect. I love it. It's looking so good. And I like that there's like a sort of scalloped edge. It's going to be really nice, isn't it, when it's done? I might put a strand of mohair in one of these, in one of the purple wedges, just one randomly somewhere. Not in the middle, maybe just like 2 more along here. Just as a random bringing in of the mohair. What do you think? Do you think that'll look odd? Although I suppose I want it to look a bit odd. It just adds a little bit of uniqueness, doesn't it, to it? And I'm worried that the mohair, because it's only in the eyelets, might look a bit out of place. So I'm thinking if I bring in just one random bit somewhere down here, it might draw it all together a bit more. So that is that. Also, what I was going to show you, this has become a dumping ground today for all my crap that I'm working on. My like tray thing that I keep all my bits and bobs in, it is a mess because I'm just shoving everything in there, stitch markers and all sorts. Scissors, yeah, so I've got to get all this cleared off by tonight, otherwise husband don't have anywhere to sleep. And I've also got Pathfinder tonight, so it needs to be done before then. This is amazing. So I got this on Temu. Don't judge. I know people say Temu is terrible, but I can't afford much at the moment because I'm off sick from work and I've just been signed off for another month. So I'm proper skint. Statutory sick pay is not a wage. And yeah. So I got this from Temu. They do different ones. They do cats, rabbits and sheep. And they're so cool. So basically these are bobbins. And I'll put in a little picture now of what I did with it yesterday. I needed to put some yarn onto a bobbin for the colour work on the gingerbread blanket. And I used one of these cats. It's even got like the little notch in it there to keep your yarn or thread or whatever you're using, and to keep the end tucked away. So yeah, I mean, it was cheap. It was like £4, but it just brings a little bit of joy to things. Better than like a plain... Oh, it's got whiskers. I didn't notice that. Focus. Oh, look. Oh, and little ears. I mean, that's not bad for £4, is it? Oh. 15 of them. That's quite a lot. It all came flat packed as well, so I had to like stick it together, but it's not stick it with glue, just push it together. It just clips in. It's really sturdy. Yeah, I love it. And the cats look really sweet when they're wound with yarn, but I think sheep would look very good as well because it's like they'd have little woolly coats. Okay, another spoiler warning now for Green Lambkin yarn, the Halloween countdown box. I'm going to show you my cowl that I'm making. Jon Snow has been snoozing right next to this morning, so there will be hair. So I'm on colour 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on colour 5 now, which is Trick or Treat. I think it was called Trick or Treating. And I've done my bats between my book colour and Trick or Treating. I love the book colour. I still want something big made in this. Like, how lush is that? Look at all the variations. I'm a bit of a sucker for like browns and greys together. That's just perfect. I got my little progress keeper there, so I know how many rows I've done before I need to start on the colour work. That was included in my box, and then I've got my stitch marker from Chapel View Crafts with a little pumpkin. And even though I haven't finished the cowl, I have written up the pattern with a little colour work chart, how many stitches, etc. Because just in case anyone wanted to make one, and I'm not charging for it or anything because it's not finished. The instructions are finished, but my personal one isn't finished, so there's no like photos or anything of it when it's complete, which is obviously important when you're making a pattern. So it's free, but like I say, there are photos of what I've already done, but not of the finished thing because it's not finished. It is available in my Ko-fi shop. I don't actually think I've got a link to that on my YouTube. I will put it on my YouTube in a bit. But if you can't find the link to my Ko-fi shop is also on my Instagram links as well. So yeah, that is lovely. I saw an amazing colourwork shawl yesterday as well. It's a Halloween knit along, and I can't remember who it's by, but Mouse Makes has just finished hers, and it is so gorgeous, and I need one. I can't do one at the moment. I just can't. I've got so much on, but I have to have it. So at some point I will be making that. Have I got anything else to show you? I don't think I have, because all I've been doing the last 2 days is the Cowl and the blanket. Oh wait, I did get a new book though. I say new. Hang on, let me just grab it. New to me. Actually, it's not even new to me, because this is a book that my dad had when I was a child. Mystery, intrigue and suspense. And I was telling husband about it the other day and what a good book it was, and how it slightly traumatized me as a child because of some of the stories in it. But growing up, my dad was really interested in things like paranormal, UFOs and aliens, ancient Egypt, strange thing, anything like that, like the unsolved mysteries kind of stuff that you see now on Netflix. So as a result, I was interested in it too. And we had this book, and it doesn't say. It's basically a compilation of little stories about these topics. So UFOs, ghosts and ghouls, mysteries, science, mystics. And I said to my husband, you have to read it because it's great. And he liked the sound of it. He's into all that stuff too. That's how it came up. We were watching, I think it's called The Haunting on BBC, or Hauntings or something like that. It's famous paranormal stories. It's like a documentary. So I found it on Amazon. Obviously it's used because it's old, but it was £4 and it's in really good condition. Does it say when it was published? 1992. That works out, because I would have been 10 in 1992. So, and it's basically like short stories about certain things that have happened, so, or claims that have been made. There's UFO stuff, Bermuda Triangle, all that sort of stuff. Spontaneous human combustion. Why were we so scared of that? Like, I remember my childhood, there were 3 things that I was scared of, that everyone was scared of. No, 4. Quicksand. I mean, I don't know if that was an everyone thing, but I grew up, I'm from Barry, so basically lived on the beach. So Quicksand was one of them. Alien Abduction was another one. Also, this was the time where the X-Files had first come out as well, so, you know, you had that as well. The Bermuda Triangle, just don't go there ever. That was, like, way scary. And then the last one was Spontaneous Human Combustion, because for some reason, it was in all these things. And I remember there being a photo of somebody who had supposedly combusted. And, like, it was like, will that happen to me? How does that happen? Why does that happen? Haven't heard anything about it since like, the early 90s. But yeah, that used to terrify me. The thought that I could just burst into flame at any time. How scary. Also, I had quite a traumatic childhood thinking about it, because there was those adverts as well. Does anyone remember the, like, oh my god, you mustn't go near pylons or lakes or reservoirs, or don't cross the road, don't talk to strangers? There were loads of those adverts in the 80s and the 90s. There was a cat, an animated cat. I think it was Charlie. Charlie says, don't talk to strangers. They were scary. And there were like real life ones with, don't touch electricity pylons or this will happen to you. And it was probably like showing people being electrocuted, little kids, and drowning in a reservoir because they've got caught in something at the bottom. And we had terrifying childhoods. There were all these things to be scared of. The Loch Ness Monster, there's another one. Like, come on. Frightening childhood. Yeah, so really good book. If you're interested in stuff like that, I highly recommend it. It's got 5-star reviews on Amazon as well. And yeah, it was just a book that, one of those books that you can just dip in and out of as and when. And I just remember it being such a huge part of my childhood, trying to scare ourselves with these stories. Yeah, so that came yesterday. Am I waiting for anything else? I don't think I am. I've heard that some advents are going out this week, possibly. Advents. Yes, I am addicted to advents. I love them. So like with this Halloween countdown box now, I think it's the whole thing of like opening the little packages and not knowing what's inside and enjoying, you know, the new colour every day. And I think it's about that for me more than actually making stuff. I swore to myself this year that I was only going to get 2 advents, because last year I had, I think it was 5, and it was absolutely ridiculous. It was way too many, but I'd paid for a lot of them in instalments, and yeah, got a bit carried away. So this year I've ordered 3, and I swore I'd stick to 2, but then I think I ordered Hook and Kutch and the Fibre Fox. And I was like, right, I'm done. I'm totally done. No more advents. And then Blue Fern Yarns released theirs. And it was like, it's called the Apothecary Cupboard or something like that. And how could I resist that? Because that is right up my street. The Fibre Fox one is like a witchy one as well. Hook and Kutch, I think, is like mystical something, or I can't remember, but it looks amazing. Yeah, so I ended up with 3, and because I ordered them right at the start of the year, I've been able to pay for those in instalments as well, so it hasn't like broken the bank, which is lucky really, because otherwise, if I'd have known I was going to be ill and I had to wait till now to buy advents, I wouldn't have had any. And then I was like, I'm done, no more advents, never again, you know. Then Toft went and showed their little, like, spoiler alert for theirs. And last year I had the Toft Advent and it was awesome. And I loved it because it was just a little tiny bit of crochet every day. And then at the end, you got these gorgeous 3 little nutcracker figures. But this year, it was even more me. It's like all foresty and woodland, and I think it might be Secret Garden related or something along those lines. So, had to have it, didn't I? So I ordered that like months ago, before I was off sick. So I've got 4 Advents this year. I swore I'd have 2. It's less than 5. So it's an improvement on last year, but it's still too much and it's still ridiculous. And last year I also bought the little grey girl one as well in February because it was amazing and she did a re-dye and I had FOMO. Have I used any of the Advents? No. Oh, yeah, I had Corner of Craft as well last year. I haven't used any of them. I haven't made anything with them. I've done I've done a third of my little grey girl one. And that's literally it. So next year, I am sticking to 1 or 2. And I'm going to try my absolute best to use them through the year. Because I've also got 2 from the year before that I haven't done anything with. Pigment and Ply. Which is just so beautiful. I can't bring myself to make anything with it because I don't want to mess it up. And then I've got Blue Fern Yarns and a Fibre Fox one as well. Last year I had the Giddy Yarns one in DK and I'm making a Sweet Shop blanket and I've only done half of that as well. It's just ridiculous, isn't it? It's just ridiculous how much yarn I accumulate. And I feel as though I'm knitting and crocheting constantly, every little spare minute I get. But then I've still got yarn accumulating. So I have to do something with it. And I have to calm down next year. Yes. Okay, that is me done. It is Thursday afternoon. I need to go and clean up the absolute state of this bed because when husband gets in from work, he's going to be like, oh my gosh, what have you done? Honestly, look, there's just yarn everywhere. Yeah, so I have to go and tidy that up. And then I've got Pathfinder, which is like D&D, but more confusing. And that is my Thursday. I will hopefully see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Before I go, I thought you might like to see my Pathfinder character pin. So with Pathfinder and D&D, they're like role-playing games, and I play with a group of friends on a Thursday and on a Friday. 5 guys on a Friday, 4 on a Thursday. And on a Thursday, we've decided to start trying Pathfinder because there are different sort of rules and things that you can and can't do. It makes it slightly different to D&D, so we're just trialling it at the moment. So this is Pin. Pin is basically a little crochet doll who has life. He's a fighter, so he uses weapons, and he basically uses a bladed scarf, crochet hooks as javelins, and then he's got a little knitted sword as well. And he's adorable. So yeah, that is my little character who I play in Pathfinder, and even though he's very cute, he's also a little bit creepy because he has one expression. He's the smallest but the strongest in our group, despite the fact that he is a crocheted doll. Yeah, so he's quite fun to play. He's a doll of few words, but he likes killing things. So yeah, He's very different to my Friday character, who is an elf wizard, and she is basically me as an elf wizard. Yeah, she's great to play. If anyone wants to know more about D&D or whatever, let me know and I'll do like a little separate video. So yeah, now I'm off to play Pin. And Pin is... I can't remember where we are actually. I know last week he was in a bit of trouble. There was giant spiders, and I think that Pin was quite badly hurt. So we'll see where that goes this week. I really am going now. Bye bye.